should have been an easy click and drag for you.
Yeah. No, I didn't need to do anything really.
Okay. It was probably an easy click and drag for me then. I probably fixed it without even knowing.
You probably fixed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to get too technical, you know. We are audiophiles, you know. We are.
I do love hearing sounds. Like birds
So good.
chirping. You like birds? It's a good one.
Love birds. Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah. Sounds. Stella barks almost constantly, so
Yeah.
real big fan of that.
What's wrong with her?
She doesn't like other people walking by or cars driving by or.
Fucking
Like
join the club,
noise,
dog. So
yeah.
what? I don't bark when I see people walking by.
She gets upset when our trash is being picked up, you know. So it's
What boy? What a dumb shit dog.
she's excitable, you know. She wants people staying away from my house, and I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. Do squirrels make a lot of noise? Cause got some of those going around. That's good.
I think so. Oh, here's one. It's one of those emails. Jeff coming in hot. One of these emails I told you about.
Woo! Open it up.
I did. Yeah, it told me things I already knew. I've already moved these things. And it does not relevantly address the other question I had. So cool. Good.
So that's what I love about email is that people can choose to ignore big parts of what you send them and just send back just useless shit.
It's kind of whatever they want, really.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like, I'm just going to type out a quick response. You know when you write a work email and you have to be like, hey, remember that other question I had that you didn't answer deliberately? I kind of asked it because you needed to answer it.
I've never once opened my work email and found something relevant to my job.
I mean, like, I get appointment stuff all the time, and like, hey, can you cover this shift? Can you cover that shift? We need someone to do this or that. And I just always say yes, because whatever. But like, if I have a question,
I just I'll see vague coding in my schedule, and that usually means that something is scheduled or I have to do something.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is I'll check my email, because I assume that since no one has communicated in person, that it would be communicated via email what I should be doing with that precious work time that they're paying me for, and there's no email. And then I only have to check with 3, maybe 4 different managers before they go, I don't know, just do this. Maybe. So it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, you're missing. My boss is really on point. She's great.
Really?
Yeah. It's anytime I deal with any other department, there's like 2 other departments that are easy to deal with, and then every other department is like, we have no idea what's going on. Someone asked you to do a thing for this department? Yeah, it was you. Well, I asked you to do a thing for this. Yep. You did. You did. It was less than 24 hours ago, and then I'm getting back to you because I already did it. Do you... Are we good? Did you get the thing I sent you? Is really all I need to know? Just say yes, you're done?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
I tell you.
Just talking about work.
That's crazy. You were able to complain about work and write that email.
Yeah.
It's insane. Their multitasking skills are amazing. I can't write a sentence in complete silence and only have to write it once. I have to write it like 3 times.
Well, I write in my private time for pleasure. So, and planning those D&D sessions, you got to do writing for that. So sometimes, I'm listening to music, I'm reading monster stats, I'm typing up a little plot line.
Dang.
Yeah, you really got to... Just Dungeons & Dragons, it teaches you good skills.
Yeah.
I want to go off on another rant, but...
And I'm sure I've made you read stuff that I did for school.
Yeah.
So it can be edited. So you know that, like, I used to be just a one-pass guy, and you could tell I changed what I was thinking mid-sentence or changed the tense of a thing mid-sentence,
I do remember that, yeah.
Yeah. And that was just for, that was for school writing. Imagine trying to be, you've seen text from me. Imagine my personality trying to send somebody a written message. It never works out.
No, your texts are generally pretty good. Generally. I think, if I was giving you critiques, I'd say, just more clarity, especially when it's time for, like, things to be at, like, if you invite, like, Kyle and I to something, like, what day, like, don't say Tuesday, say, like...
the date.
Yeah, the date, and then a time that it starts that we should be there by.
But say you weren't expecting, like, sarcasm. Say you asked me a sincere question, and I wrote back sarcastically, and you didn't know me overly well.
Well, just don't, because sarcasm doesn't play well on print.
But I can't have a different personality in person than in print, can I?
Yeah,
or is that normal?
No, absolutely you can. Yeah.
But are people expecting that?
Probably.
Is that technically catfishing?
No. No, I don't think so.
No? Okay. All right. Well, what kind of personality should you have via text? What are you, very just professional all the time?
If you mean text like texting, then no. You're part of that group chat we have.
Oh yeah, no, you've never been professional there.
Right.
But I mean, like,
Not once.
text-based communication.
Yeah. Just polite and to the point. I don't want to spend more time. Who wants to spend time writing work emails?
But I've seen polite and to the point from me come off, and people are like, "Are you mad?"
Do they know you in person?
Yeah,
Because they were probably assuming you would be sarcastic then. They thought that your in-person personality would come through in an email, and it's not. And look, the trick is you have to be like, could you please do this? Could you pleases and thank yous go a long way to sort of softening the image. The email I just wrote was like, yeah, hey, could you please address the question I asked? It was along those lines, but it sounded polite.
My instinct is to just all caps the please and thank yous to emphasize that, but that's probably wrong.
No,
well,
that's
right?
super aggressive.
Okay.
That comes across really aggressive. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hands down, don't ever do that.
Okay. All right, I'll work on that.
No.
It'll be great.
You can send me emails. We can practice. That's fine.
You want to practice? I'll just say, "Dear business associate," and then things like that. Or yeah. Okay. All right.
Could you please respond? All caps. No, don't do that. But
I appreciate your help, your willingness to help.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm just a helpful dude.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what I've come to know from you.
Yeah,
so.
It's like the only skill set I have is just being like, yeah, I'll help. And they'd be like, do you know anything about helping in this? No, I don't really, but I'll help.
But
you asked if anyone would help, not if somebody who knew what they were doing would help. So
yeah. I mean, will it get it done? I don't know, but here I am.
It'll get done. Will it be done well? It's almost certainly not.
Hey, and welcome to Heads Up with Jeff and Sean. I am Jeff.
Someone just suddenly walk into the room you're in. I'm Sean.
No, but I usually just let it go so long, and then you're always like, let's do this. And then last time I did it so much that I forgot how it started.
Yeah, this is basically like work now. And the whole thing, this whole podcast is basically like writing a work email now. So I don't want to spend any more time doing it than I have to. So
the less we talk, the fewer edits I have to make.
Right. See, exactly.
Just pump this thing out.
You got to do it again now, because usually right after we introduce ourselves, you tell us, here's what the podcast is and what it does.
Yeah. No, you're right. I forgot about that. I'll get there. It's been a while.
Well, you don't have to restart. Just remind them what the podcast is. And
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. Typically, we go over 3 things. Sometimes less, sometimes more. Eventually, we're gonna talk about a candy that we've eaten previously. Usually, there's a middle piece, and sometimes we talk about animals.
Every time we talk about animals.
I mean, lately.
It didn't
start that way.
This isn't the intro for episode 1, the huge piece of shit episode. Those should be deleted. Like the first the first 20 episodes should just be gone.
Those are gold. Okay.
Those are not. No, they're not.
It's these last ones that are problematic.
No, I don't know. I like spitting in God's eye. I got backup from the fans on that too. You can text Brett, one half of our fan base. He enjoys that segment.
Fine. They're out there, okay? People need to hear it, okay? People need to figure out what happened, How did we end up here?
What do you mean?
I don't know. You those other episodes are going to stay out there. It's going to be great.
They're not great, and you know it. Please continue.
Man, I mean, okay. All right. Should we just start talking about animals?
Yeah.
Okay.
We can if you want. Do you want to?
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Because it happen every time now. Here we go.
Well, now it's time to get online to our internet service provider. It'll be cool. Here we go.
Do you have an animal in mind?
I can. I've thought of one.
What do you know about snails? What do you know? Sorry, what do you know about garden snails specifically?
I don't know a lot about garden snails unless Unless that thing in Parks and Rec where coffee grounds keep them away is accurate, and then I know that.
Why don't you Google that real quick? Because I don't know if that's true. I talk a little bit about snails from this Wikipedia article.
Okay.
So garden snails are generally native to the Mediterranean area and Western Europe, but wow, it says whether deliberately or accidentally humans have spread it to temperate and subtropical areas worldwide. I don't know anybody who's deliberately spreading snails. I think they might have just hitched a ride. Like, we put a bunch of...
You think there was like a Johnny Appleseed for snails?
Yeah, I don't just like a dude like throwing snails out in the woods. I'm going to use these to make alcohol later. Like, probably not. Ooh, boy, now I have something to Google. Can I make alcohol with snails? Effects of alcohol on snails. See, this is what I'm talking about, scientists. I know we've come at science before, and this is just this is just because we're populist Americans. Okay, we're really going after the core American identity, which is that we hate science. How do you? Why?
They just put alcohol on the snails and just to see what happens.
Yeah, hypothesis. The hypothesis of this experiment will be that alcohol will have general effects on the snails, which include hampering their motor coordination.
Yeah, no shit.
Unbelievable. Oh, hold on. I'm getting another work email. Hold on. Let me see. Cool. That one is safe to ignore. Okay, sorry.
So it says coffee grounds will deter slugs, but it's mostly caffeine that does it. So if you have like a caffeine solution, it's much more effective than just coffee grounds.
Yeah, they hate 5-hour energy.
Yeah.
Is that... They're too cool for it.
Yeah.
Nah, man, I just drink cold water. It keeps me awake all day. Dumbass snail.
So somebody was carrying around snails, dropping them everywhere, getting them drunk. Is that right?
Well, I mean, we had to wait for science to clarify that alcohol might fuck up snails.
Now, do they make those shells that are on their back, or do they find them like?
Oh, hey,
like hermit crabs.
Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, I'm still with the alcohol snail thing. We'll get to the real facts later. Yeah, we'll get to those in a minute. So, based on the conclusions of this very small study, quote, it seemed as though the alcohol had no, quote, intoxicating effects, close quote, on the snails. Rather, the alcohol seemed physically harmful to external structures of the snail. End overall quote.
Because they're like covered in like a mucus, right? Is that breaking that shit down, you think?
I don't know. Probably.
Could they find the same harmful effects if you sprayed Windex on a snail? I mean...
I don't... This is a poorly done study. I'm looking at other...
Okay.
No, I'm just closing all of this down. None of it was useful or helpful to me.
So they just pour the alcohol on the snail. A snail, I assume, could drink. Maybe if it drank the alcohol?
I just said I closed it all down. I'm done with it. I don't... You have to find your own answers now.
Maybe there are better studies. I don't know.
No.
You seem to pull that study up pretty good.
Well, yeah. That's how Google works. You just Google a string of numbers or letters, and it gives you whatever you want.
You know I'm bad at Googling stuff. You know that.
So snails have shells.
Uh-huh. Go on.
As far as I can tell, that's the only difference between them and slugs.
They live in a house. Slugs are homeless.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah. Snails, they use it for protection. When injured or badly irritated, the animal produces a defensive froth of mucus that might repel some enemies or overwhelm aggressive small ants or the like.
This thing's getting bullied by ants, is that right?
Every creature that isn't... all animals get bullied by ants. Humans get bullied by ants.
I've never frothed at the mouth from an ant, though. You know what I mean?
Well, that's because it's not part of your genetic, like, defense mechanism. You go get poison and poison, like, their entire colony, and then it and all of its family dies forever.
Yeah, it seems like kind of an escalated response to a ant being in your house, but...
No, it's not. Ants are awful. We're not talking about ants, though.
Yeah, go on.
Whoa. So the garden snail can survive temperatures as low as 23 degrees Fahrenheit, so a little bit below freezing.
Okay.
How does it do that? During dry or cold weather, it seals the aperture of the shell with a thin membrane of dried mucus. and it helps the snail retain moisture and protects it from small predators such as some ants. So, okay, ants are really pushing these guys around. You were right.
Thank you. So it survives by going all the way in the shell and just putting a mucus layer over that opening?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That doesn't at all tell me how... Oh, it avoids the formation of ice in its tissues by altering the osmotic components of its blood. Whoa, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Why doesn't he use that against the ants?
Well, because that is just blood is different. I don't think the ants care.
I know it's not that time, but maybe it could do a thing where it just like pokes an ant and changes the ant's blood, you know?
Yeah. Well, don't start letting the froth out of your mouth drip into God's eye just yet. We got to full on spit into it when it's time.
Okay.
Its head has 4 tentacles. So the upper 2 are like the eye stalks.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have actual eyes. They have like eye-like light sensors, which sounds like some Star Wars bullshit, but... And the lower 2 are tactile and olfactory sense organs. So touching and smell. So they basically smell through their face hands. That's gross.
That is gross. It does look... It reminds me of Jar Jar Binks, the snail's face, though. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah, everyone should talk more about Jar Jar Binks. Garden snail. The shell is almost always right coiled, and I don't know what that means.
I think because if you look at it, it kind of goes to like a spiral shape.
Is that clockwise or? Because they talk about left coiled specimens are also known. See Jeremy, comma snail.
My man Jeremy. No, I think because like it's on one side, right? Because it kind of like goes to a point. And if you look at it, it's like on the snail's right side.
No.
Is that right? Am I misinterpreting what you're saying?
So Jeremy is the snail's name. I'm looking at Jeremy's page now.
Go on.
Jeremy was a left-coiled garden snail investigated by biologists. He died on October 11th in 2017, and that's the second piece of information we learn about Jeremy.
Jeremy, no.
He had a rare genetic mutation, which caused its shell to coil counterclockwise. Left-coiled means counterclockwise, so therefore right-coiled must mean clockwise. I am a snail expert. I am a snail savant. I just knew that.
How... Okay. So they grow these shells, so eventually they must start off with little to no shells. And then it coils clockwise or counterclockwise. But it to me, all right, it doesn't make sense to me, but nothing does. I'm just picturing it like growing over his face if it goes the other way.
I don't just imagine him turned around. I don't know. Look at pictures of snails. I can't help you.
I'm looking, and they're all right.
Clockwise,
they're
counterclockwise.
Yeah.
You know what those are?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I've had a digital clock for years, but I think I remember.
Oh, nice. What is... During the mating session of several hours, these snails can fuck. 2 snails exchanged sperm.
They both exchanged the sperm.
Yeah. And the
Or it's like exchange the sperm is like they're just both involved and one is getting and one is receiving, or they both just saying like, here's some sperm.
No, garden snails are hermaphrodites, so they produce both male and female gametes.
And they impregnate each other. They don't like, all right, I think I'm going to impregnate you, or you impregnate me.
Yeah, they do it to each other. Although self-fertilization sometimes occurs, so some nasty snails just coil up in the old shell with a little magazine and
dang.
So snails are basically like the sting of the animal. Several hours they're mating.
Several hours.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of time. It seems like a lot of time to be distracted by that when ants could be out to get you.
Well, they probably like lock shells or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
It's like you look up the video. I don't want to look up the video.
So garden snails are one of the species that uses love darts during mating, and a love dart is a sharp, sometimes chitinous dart made part of the sequence of courtship. What does it do? Tell me what the fuck it does. Okay, prior to copulation, each of the 2 snails attempts to shoot one or more darts into the other snail. There is no,
I mean,
no. There is no organ to receive the dart. This action is more analogous to a stabbing or being shot with an arrow.
oh my god. That's how they get the sperm into each other? They fucking stab each other?
No. The exchange of sperm between both of the two land snails is a completely separate part of the mating progression.
Oh, okay.
So, I don't really want to read more, but I do not understand why they do this.
So the sperm goes somewhere else, and then as they're doing it, they shoot darts and stab each other.
Ooh, okay. Recent research shows that the use of the darts can strongly favor the reproductive outcome of the snail that is able to lodge a dart in its partner. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So snail A shoots a dart into snail B, and that favors the reproductive outcome for snail A's little dudes that he's shooting into the other one. This is because mucus on the dart introduces a hormone-like substance that allows far more of its sperm to survive.
Oh.
So they're kind of inoculating each other,
Yeah.
is what I'm understanding.
They're preparing that other snail's body to be more inhabitable for their sperm.
Right. So
That's crazy.
Whoa, man. I'm mad I picked snails now. That was gross. That was a gross thing to learn.
That was pretty gross. So, yeah, they shoot darts into each other for lovemaking, and to protect themselves from predators, they foam at the mouth.
Yep, they eat.
Okay.
They're mostly herbivores. They eat numerous types of fruit trees, vegetable crops, rose bushes, garden flowers, and cereals, which is a funny image, but that's not the cereal they mean.
You can't leave, like, Captain Crunch out on your doorstep and then wake up with snails?
You might be able to, but I mean, probably not.
Probably more likely to get rats or mice, right?
Although they will occasionally scavenge animal matter, such as crushed snails and worms. Okay, they're pretty fucking metal. If they weren't so afraid of ants, they'd be fucking wicked cool. They have a lot. They are the prey of a lot of animals. So bird species, lizards, frogs, centipedes, predatory insects such as glowworms.
Glowworms?
Glowworms in the family Lampridae.
Okay.
Or Lampyridae. And
It's not like that child's toy in the 80s, the glowworms.
no, I don't think. Oh well, I mean that might be modeled on the actual glowworm,
Okay.
but
All right.
oh hey, cool. Garden snails may on occasion be of use as an indicator of environmental pollution because it deposits heavy metals such as lead in its shell.
Okay, so you have to kill the snail and then see if there's a lot of heavy metals in its shell.
All right, it's weird that you focused on murdering the snail first.
Well, I don't know. I assume if they're growing, the shell must be part of their body if they grow it. So I'm sure you can't just like scrape off a
Do they grow
good
it?
chunk. They must. Otherwise, why would they make such a big deal about left or right curled shells? I mean, otherwise, they go to the beach first, they pick up a shell, then they go to the woods.
No.
It's a long way to travel. Are shells created naturally anywhere else? I don't know. I don't know.
No, of course they make this.
So they.
In spite of its apparent slowness and limitations, the snail exploits the special nature of its mucus to achieve some startling feats. It can go up a slope at any angle, including upside down.
Nice.
Resist being pulled off of a firm surface with an adhesive strength several times its own weight.
Man, Spider-Man should be renamed Garden Slug Man.
Garden snail man. We're not talking about slugs.
Oh, you're right. Garden Snail.
Garden
Man.
slug man would be his enemy.
Seems like Ant-Man would be his enemy, but, you know.
They can rest on a surface at any angle without any expenditure of energy. So they just stick to it and they're just like, alright, peace out, I'm gonna take a nap.
Dang.
Or notoriously climb a needle-like stem or pass over the edge of a razor blade without harm, relying on the firmness of its mucus film in its shear-resistant phase.
Whoa.
So you can't cut them, as long as you go real slow.
As long as you don't push too hard,
Yeah.
you cannot cut them.
Okay.
That's pretty insane.
Garden snail's
That's
pretty
pretty
metal.
Yeah.
You want to make them better,
Sometimes
though?
literally. Yeah, I do want to make them better.
You want to spit in God's eye? Really?
I
Really?
definitely want to spit in God's eye for sure.
All right.
With these snails.
Some people eat snails, right?
Yeah, escargot.
Yeah,
right?
I had that before. It was gross.
I mean, do they wash the mucus off and then, or is the mucus part of the delicacy?
Well,
know
you
what I
don't
mean?
just suck them out of it. They get cooked.
Yeah, but do they wash the mucus off first?
I don't know.
You just cook it with the mucus. You know what I mean? that like eating a bird with feathers on it? Or is the mucus good? Like if a snail crawled on my tongue, would I be like, wow, this is delicious?
All right, you get the sting music. You put the sting music for spitting a God's eye in.
We got to do something about these ants with these snails. We've got to give them something better than frothing out the mouth.
Now, are you thinking... Hold on. I got another work email coming in hot. Coming in hot.
What would they do without you there?
Not email me so much, probably. That's all. All right, let's see. Boom, done. Okay, so
wow,
I'm probably gonna get another one right back. I better get another one right back because that also had a question in it. But what do you want to do about these ants? Because I'm thinking more froth, and I guess that's not what you want to do here.
So frothy.
Right.
I like the idea that they change their blood. They change hormones in other snails using darts. I think they should be able to do something to the ants to change something about the ants' body chemistry or blood. Either use it to mind control the ants, or to make the ants' body susceptible to both their sperm and the snail's egg, and then that's how snails are born. They burst out of an ant's thorax when they're ready to go.
That puts the newborn right in danger's path. Like, the ant could go back to the hive, die, and then the snail is just a little baby without a shell.
Suppose you're right. It's got to be pretty immediate.
And I don't.
So you're saying more froth?
Well, that was just a suggestion. I don't think that. I mean, mind control. They're not like little Professor X's, right? And like,
right. You're right. All right. So
the darts, though, I think could work. What if they just had darts that they could stab ants with? Like,
it's pretty good.
Like, you don't have to shoot them and then it's gone forever. Like, you've got these 4 appendages. You got your 2 light sensing eye stalks.
Yeah.
And then you got your sniffing hand thing down the bottom. Put little spikes in those.
So they're just slapping with the smelly one and stabbing the ant?
Well, I think both hand things are like they touch and smell.
Yeah.
But yeah, stab in there. Get in there.
And then they froth up a lot, and they can move around it, but the ants get stuck in the froth.
Yeah. Makes them easy targets.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, how do you feel about if a snail has to get away real fast? Like, there's a lot of ants, and they're just going to pig pile it?
Yeah.
I guess ant pile it. What if they could get in their shell and roll away?
Yeah, like some of the armadillos. Yeah.
Let's make the shell more round, right?
Like super round.
Like,
whether it's clockwise or counterclockwise, it's going to be super round.
Yeah, let's get rid of this right left turn. Nobody cares about that, snails. It's irrelevant. Jeremy, you're an idiot snail. Nobody cares that you were a freakish
mutant. You know
mutant.
what? Now it just looks like a car tire.
It's thank you. Yes. Car tire. Perfect.
How about it's really fast at making shells, and what it can do is it can build a shell around a lot of the ants and then close it off. And so these dumb ants are trapped in a shell.
How fast is it making the shell?
Pretty fast.
Did you recently watch like an X-Men movie? Is it? He's gonna spray ice all over them, like Iceman. He's gonna make an ice shell over them, and then they're dead, man.
Dude, Iceman is the best X-Man, and nobody can say anything else.
And then like the bug government is like, yeah, snails have too many powers, man. We gotta control them. We gotta sign these.
We should at least register all snails in the area.
Right, it's just for everyone's safety.
Yeah. So it stabs them with their little smelly hands, froths at the mouth, sticks in there, and then rolls away.
Yeah.
All right. I like it. It's ants. No longer a problem for snails.
Right, and you know, now I'm thinking about it, the open part of the shell, they could still use their little darts, right?
Yeah.
Grip those. They could use those to like slow down when they need to stop rolling. You know?
Yeah.
Like extend them a little bit just to create some drag.
Yeah, or they can grab onto a twig to kind of like do a sharp turn.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That's a good one too. I think this, I mean, now that we took away a predator, like ants are a fucking joke to snails now.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna have to be more selective about what they eat. I think we gotta take something away. They can't just eat any plants they find, you know?
They can't just eat plants. Some plants are going to be dangerous.
Well, not just inedible. Like they can only eat like flowers or flower buds or something.
They have to climb to the top of flower stem.
Right. Well, remember we talked about this last time. We're not just making superhero.
We're not making unstoppable killing machines.
Right. We're just making better creatures to fit in a better world because God didn't do a good job. That's it.
Okay.
That's all we're doing.
All right. Well, how about this?
Yeah.
The only thing they can eat is pollution, like those heavy metals and shit. And that way, it makes sense that their shells more look like car tires because like the metal rims and the black things and maybe some spikes. Real Mad Max styling.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're making some big assumptions on how these shells are made and why they look the way they look.
Yeah, just saying.
I like the idea that they have to eat some poisons, right? Like they're cleanup men now. That is gonna cut down on their habitable areas, right?
True.
They're gonna have to convene around, toxic puddles.
Yeah.
So now they're superhero adjacent,
If one of them bites a teenager.
Look, having a shell would be amazing, especially if you could just get into it and roll away when someone is like talking at you.
Yeah.
Oh, have you read the news lately? I'm really concerned about what's going on in the world. And it's just like I'm slowly tucking into a shell, like.
Before you leave, you slap him with one of your dart hands.
No way. I don't want to make that fucking nerd more susceptible to my powerful sperm. No way. Let me tell you what my opinions are about the United States government right now. Oh, boy. Yeah. Whoops. Whoa, I'm rolling away. Oh, no.
If these few things, or if everyone just did these things, it would be so much better. Just think like this.
Everyone should be looking forward to the episode where we fucking fix people. That's going to be a long one.
So good. So good. All right. So these fast-rolling, pollution-eating, Mad Max style toxic waste hanging around slugs, snails.
I think the garden snail was great. I don't think we had to do much,
Yeah.
Give it a little tool use.
Yeah. Does it need a more expressive face? I always like to know what an animal is thinking, And with snails, I feel like I have no idea what it's thinking.
It's a good question. I think let's take its eyes away entirely.
Get those stems out of there. Just no light.
Well,
can't sense light. Okay.
We can keep the stems, but they have to be like used to detect pollution or whatever, like the certain heavy metals that they're trying to get out of the environment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they need to see. If they can just tuck and roll as soon as it's time to bail.
Well, I mean, how do they know when it's time to bail if they can't see? Well, I guess the smell, right?
Smell, and maybe we could make those antenna on top really powerful vibration sensor things. So they have like bat sonar, except they can't make noise. So they have to anything around them that makes noise.
Yeah.
Or maybe we let them click inside of the shell.
Let those things click, like they make those noises when they're in the shell.
Like they can snap their body against the shell to make like a
and that's how they make the noise.
For like echolocation.
Okay. Yeah.
And then they can operate day and night. They don't need light anymore, And I'm imagining if they're eating toxic waste, they're probably in like supervillain caves and stuff like that, where it's dark anyway.
Just sliming around.
Right. Like Killer Croc, like they're down in his sewers or whatever, eating up his pollution.
I don't know if they need much more. I mean, there's not much. I want them to stick to every surface for sure. So there's no taking away that.
I think they can stick to every surface where it becomes like a problem for people. Like we have like these super advanced space age materials, and snails are just like, I don't give a fuck. I'll stick to it. There's like heavy metals up in there. I'm gonna go get them.
Is it bad enough that we're like, if they're attracted to like metals and pollution and stuff, is it bad enough that if you left your car parked in a bad neighborhood, Like in the morning.
Yeah, they'd eat the
see it
wheels.
covered in snails,
No,
so
I don't
it
know.
should be like the frame.
No, I don't think so. How much toxic waste do you think is under bad neighborhoods? And what does that say about your worldview?
Where are they going to put the toxic waste? In the nice neighborhoods? I don't think so.
I guess. So they're kind of beneficial now to humans too, but also detrimental. Like we can put them when we want toxic waste cleaned up, or we could like extract it from places.
Yeah.
Like put a bunch of snails there and then crush up kill them first and then crush up their shells if we need those heavy metals for industry or whatever. But also we can't have them near our space age materials.
Yeah. How would you kill a snail if not crushing it?
I don't know.
Especially if it eats pollution.
Yeah, you can't cut
You
it.
try to feed it. You feed it like a carrot. It's like, ugh.
Try to cut it and it's just like, nope.
Yeah.
Slime, motherfucker.
If you cut it, is it then 2 snails?
No. No, that's absurd.
Okay. So you
That's
cut
crazy.
it. You cut it in half and it's dead.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you crush it up.
Sure. I mean, if that's what you're... that's what you want, I guess.
I'm just trying to follow your logic here. Okay, that's all.
I don't think people...
That's all I was-
I don't think people can eat them anymore.
No? Well, because all they eat is pollution, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be tough.
It's going to be pretty dangerous. Although people eat, like, that spiky fish, right? That if you don't...
I was going to say, maybe you have to have expertly trained chefs that cut it just right.
Yeah. There's like
Eat those pieces.
a millimeter thick slice you can get from every snail.
Yeah, and it's so delicious.
Oh, my God. It tastes so good. You don't even believe it.
Can't even believe it. You leave the mucus right on it, too.
It's like a medicine, too.
So good. Yeah. Heals, like, a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the kind of world I want to live in.
Me too. I think we did good on snails. I think.
Yeah.
Good job, us.
Yeah. Amazing creatures. Amazing creatures.
Do you get a middle part?
I was thinking, and you can say no.
I know.
To this
At
kind
any
of
point,
thing
I
here.
could just shout the secret words to bring us to the last segment. I know. I know. I've learned magic, Jeff. Yeah, I know what the magic spell is to move it along.
I love it. Now, I was thinking about this.
Hold on, real quick though. I am getting pretty worried. I haven't gotten that work email back.
Shoot off another one.
I can't.
Add a couple places.
I can't. The person I'm emailing is several levels above me. So it's kind of like they do have the authority to just be like, everybody waits for me. And I don't want that because I need to know about stuff that's like, about 24 hours away.
Did you sign off by saying warmest regards? Because that he might get back at you if you typed a warmest regards.
First of all, you're making some assumptions about the gender of this person that I'm emailing. You'll notice that I have been pretty oblique. I did not say if it was a man or woman, and you said it was a man because you think only men can hold positions of authority because you're fucking sexist. It's a trap. This is the middle segment. The middle segment is you've been trapped.
Only a man would be rude enough not to get back to you when you had a question.
Well, you're wrong. You're wrong, because both men and women are super rude sometimes. But no, I did not say warmest regards. I didn't mean to distract us with my work emails again, but...
I can't believe... How did you sign off?
I didn't.
No, why am I not getting back to you?
We're several emails deep. I don't need to introduce myself every time and give, like, all right, I'm heading out. Peace, dog.
This is Sean signing off.
Right, like, no, not every time. Once
right.
you're, like, 5, 6, 7 emails deep, it's just information exchange.
All right.
Go ahead.
I've never gone that deep.
Sorry, middle segment.
I was thinking, you know how if a big studio these days makes a movie, they're not just making one movie, they're trying to create an entire universe around that theory. I'm saying the 80s and the 90s, they made a lot of movies without thinking about that, but I think we could take a lot of those movies and generate a universe out of them, just by following some of their rules.
So you want to use a podcast to make a fake cinematic universe?
Yeah.
Using 80s and 90s movies?
Well, for example, take the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito vehicle Twins, where, they were grown in a lab, and then like Arnold Schwarzenegger got all the good stuff, and Danny DeVito got all the junk that left over. They weren't even expecting him.
I'm gonna go ahead and contest that, but continue.
What is that? What else? What other movies would they make in that universe as maybe prequels or sequels to really just squeeze every bit of dough out of that franchise?
I guess I don't understand the premise, but the very idea that Danny DeVito didn't get any of the good parts is wild to me. That's insane. That guy he got all the acting skill, first of all.
Yeah.
Like all of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's amazing.
I'm saying that's the premise of the movie. They come to find out, through, their adventures that they both have value.
Wait, what? Sorry, it's been so long since I've seen Twins. The beginning of this segment is going to have to be you explaining the plot to every movie to me.
And that's fine.
It's not.
That's fine.
It's not. Nobody wants to listen to the movie summary podcast.
We can cut out the summary part.
What? So in Twins, they're
just do
clones?
big movies. No, the premise of that movie is a group of scientists set out to make a perfect human being. Mm-hmm. And so they take 6 different men and 1 woman, and they mix up a cocktail.
Nice.
And they impregnate this woman with this magic sperm to create the perfect person. In utero, the egg splits. So they were only expecting 1 perfect person. And so, go on.
Nice. Yeah, okay, go on. So,
So Arnold Schwarzenegger comes out first, and they're like, nice.
I think the part with the 6 dudes and the 1 lady, I think I've seen that. I think I've seen that
because it's really only referenced and there's like a picture in the movie.
Oh, they must. I think they made a prequel.
I think you watched a movie where 6 dudes and 1 woman were doing something, but it's not. It wasn't this.
Are you sure? I think they made a prequel. There might have been a dude with a lab coat. I don't remember. I'll find out. I'll find out and get back to you. Please continue.
All right, let me know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So some scientists go. They mix up. Yeah. They make a mega sperm, and they impregnate the lady.
They accidentally make 2 babies. Okay. And so what they do is, they then send Arnold Schwarzenegger off with one of the scientists to live on an island, and they train him by book learning and by what looks like Tai Chi and things like that, and he's on that island. And what they do is they tell the mother that the kids died in childbirth. They tell Arnold Schwarzenegger that his mother died.
Your review, this is taking so long.
Well, I thought you'd remember more of it.
I remember none of this. Arnold Schwarzenegger is raised on a secluded island as a Tai Chi master.
Yeah, that way he has no life skills whatsoever, right? So then the one scientist feels guilty, tells him he has a brother that they just put in an orphanage, right? Because told him the whole thing. And so Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, I have to go find my brother. And then he goes, finds his brother, Danny DeVito, who's a womanizer. He owes money to a loan shark, and to pay back, he's lifting cars.
Danny DeVito is the womanizer.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. Go on.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, the virgin.
All right. Well, I hope so. He was raised on an island by a scientist, as a parent figure. I hope he's a virgin.
So he takes off. He lands in what I'm assuming is New York City.
No, I don't. The rest of this I don't care about. So,
but they go. All right. There's a whole proprietary jet engine thing going. All right, go on. All right.
A proprietary jet engine thing going on in this movie about cloning twins. Yeah, I definitely want to hear more about that. So, but your question is, in the universe where they're clone twins,
what other movies do you think could make sequels or in that same shared universe, giving the rules that the Twins movie has set out?
So it has to have Arnold Schwarzenegger or Danny DeVito.
It doesn't have to, but it has to be in a world where scientists have discovered they can make perfect humans with because 10 times the strength of a normal human, things like that.
Well, he's a superhero?
He's got crazy. He lifts a car up in the movie.
Why didn't you gotta fucking lead with that? You're fucking starting to tell me about his plane trip to New York when they've cloned a Superman. What? So, your movie review skills are fucking garbage.
So they create the perfect human. Okay.
Lead with that next time.
All right.
They create the perfect human, and it's not Danny DeVito. Is really what you should have summarized that movie.
Danny DeVito is the other stuff.
That's wild.
And so
there's a reason they didn't make a sequel.
But in that universe where now scientists know they can make a superhuman, but they end up with like another person with other junk qualities.
So
Like,
Danny DeVito didn't have powers at all.
No, I mean, no, he was,
Okay, no, that's fine. I was just curious.
he didn't have any powers. He was just a normal guy, short guy,
Yeah.
balding with a ponytail.
Familiar with Danny DeVito, thank you. I know what he looks like. That's fine. Yes, good. Thank you. So what other movies fit in there?
No, what kind of movies would you make out of that universe and its rules? Like we have, like, don't you think other things would happen, or had to happen to get to where they are?
You gotta walk me through it. I still don't know what you're asking me.
Come up with sequel ideas or prequel ideas for the movie Twins, given the rules of Twins.
Twin Park. And they take eventually there's legislation against making superhumans because you can't just let people do that. Governments get scared.
Yeah.
They put them all on an island, and then 20 years later, you can go like watch them, and it's a bunch of like Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're running around in loincloths and hunting and stuff, and there's like.
Oh wait, so. All right, I like the island idea. What if it's kind of like a Jurassic Park?
Yes,
but for superhumans.
Yes, that's what I was riffing on. Yes, thank you. Good job. You solved my mystery.
I picked it up.
Yeah. So the guy that runs the park is Danny DeVito. He moved to the park with his brother, right?
Yeah, of course.
He's the old white suited man. I forget what that guy's name is, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Dr. Park.
Dr. Park. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it was called Jurassic Park, right?
John Hammond.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Hammond.
yeah. He's
John Hammond.
He plays that character.
Yeah.
And so he invites his seemingly normal twin grandchildren, right? Danny DeVito had no problem getting a woman. He wasn't a virgin.
At the end of the movie, they both are pushing strollers with twins in them. They both had twins with the women in the movie.
The same woman?
No, Danny DeVito was already dating somebody.
Okay, good.
Whose sister hated Danny DeVito, but then met Arnold Schwarzenegger and was like, I gotta fuck this dude. And so they both are dating. The brothers are dating a pair of sisters, and they have twins at the end.
Yeah, so at some point, Danny DeVito has kids, and then those kids have kids, right? And one set of those kids is twins. Okay? So what no one knows, of course, and maybe there's a government guy involved. He's keeping tabs on Danny DeVito's family.
Oh, sure.
But
any kind of regulation.
But any twins, like he carries the recessive superhero gene in his DNA, right?
Right, because he was a science experiment.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So one of these two kids, the government guy thinks might grow up to have superpowers.
Oh.
And if so, they have to expand the legislation and put more superheroes on this island, right?
Have you been watching a lot of X-Men movies?
No, but since you kept talking about it, since you kept trying to make like Professor X, the Snail Man.
Yeah.
And like maybe there's like I guess we're gonna have to have a scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger bites a man in half and the guy's on the toilet. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It makes sense to me.
It does make sense. There's actually it's implied in the movie that Danny DeVito in this orphanage had at 12 years old had sex with one of the nuns.
Okay.
So what if the nun got pregnant and had that baby, and maybe it was twins?
Okay.
And I thought that would go somewhere. Hold on. Stand by. And a shame she raises them by herself.
Yeah.
And doesn't let them go outside.
Even the government doesn't know about them.
Yeah. The government's a villain in all these movies.
Yeah, fucking obvious. Fucking read the news, dog. The government is a villain.
In real life. And so, but she's still very religious, so she trains them to hunt demons.
There's demons in this universe. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
There can be.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because all we can expand on the rules.
Sure.
As long as we incorporate them in other movies after.
Okay.
I always thought there was more stuff you could do because there's got scientists working on those experiments. creating perfect people. But
So, I mean, if demons exist, maybe that's why the original twins experiment happened. They were trying to make superhumans to fight demons.
yeah. Let's just bring Hellboy into this universe. Just the Hellboy.
They're trying to make Hellboy. They get Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're trying to make Hellboy. Okay, so we have a classic twins, sequel where the twins team up to fight demons, right? It's Hellboy-esque, okay? 20 years after that, we have a trilogy, right?
Yeah.
They've given up on genetic engineering. They make a RoboCop. Okay, we're going with robots now.
Yeah.
The Danny DeVito thing didn't work out.
Yeah.
Just couldn't happen.
There's too much government regulation around creating perfect people that these scientists went into the robotics.
Yeah, it was definitely the legislation surrounding it. There was no profit in it.
So now there's RoboCops. So now it's a world of RoboCops. Do you have to make 2 RoboCops at a time?
Yeah, you do. That's a good idea. And they're linked. They work in pairs, like in that giant monster movie.
Yeah. I've never seen one person pilot a Jaeger. So
They're not. Yeah, but you can't call them Jaegers in this because that's a dumb name for a giant robot.
yeah.
There's a dumb bad name in that movie too. Also, those movies were terrible. Maybe the demons are coming through big portals. All right, Candy. No transitions.
We tried. All right.
We can try again. We can refine it, but
I love it.
it seems like
All
we
right.
were just riffing on other movies. Just didn't seem like we were making anything new.
All right. We just have to connect other movies to movies. All right.
All right, I'm opening up my box because I went and bought we got bottle caps. And let
Bottle
me
caps.
let's clarify real quick. Is yours like a purple pink box?
Yes.
Okay, good. Root beer, cherry, grape, cola, orange.
Yes.
60 calories for every 13 pieces.
Yes.
Okay. No artificial.
Thoughtful portion is 13 pieces.
Yeah.
It's good to remember, enjoying confections in moderation can be part of a balanced diet
Okay.
and an active lifestyle.
Yeah.
That is on this box. Also, it's important, they want you to know, young children, less than 4 years, have limited chewing ability and could choke on small candies. It seems like they're really trying to cover the bases, or they had a lot of problems with young kids trying to eat bottle caps.
Well, people are just stupid and they're protecting themselves from lawsuits. So my first, I haven't even eaten one yet. Because I'm on mic. They don't really.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. They don't really look. They don't look like bottle caps, really. I mean, the top
No.
kind of does, but
Yeah, I remember them bigger when I was younger, and having those grooved edges to at least make them look like bottle caps. These ones do not.
in early 2009,
Yeah, go on.
each individual piece of bottle caps candy was made much smaller than they had been in the past.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I just read that. This came in hot on the wire. Ooh,
Go on.
I do not know what that flavor I just had was. It might have been root beer, but
It's tricky, right? Because the root beer and the cola ones
yeah.
are just brown and light brown.
So what is this purple? That's got to be grape.
Oh, it's got to be great.
It's not very good. Ooh, those were definitely root beer.
So the one you had before was cola.
Must have been. 'Cause the root beer is not bad. They did pretty good with the root beer.
Root beer candies are
Yeah,
not my favorite, but yeah, they're usually like a nice mild.
yeah. Generally
flavor,
okay.
yeah.
They're no orange, but
What can be,
the cherry is also not good.
I like the cherry.
In the past, bottle caps contained a lemon lime flavor instead of the current cherry flavor.
Well, it's not bad, right? Because lemon lime is actually soda. Well, I guess you can make cherry Coke, but if you had the Coca-Cola and the cherry one together.
Yeah, well, Sprite's lemon lime, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, wow. This is the first orange candy I've had that is not very good.
Not a good sign for bottle caps.
I was kind of kicking the pants. I was just talking up their fucking.
So grape and cherry bad, root beer good, cola okay, orange also bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I like the orange, grape, and cherry ones, but not a fan of the root beer. Cola's all right, but they definitely have a consistency of like Kool-Aid powder once you crunch them, or like the Lickums, you know, those little sticks you put powder in.
I do not know what a Lickums is. I'm sorry.
I swear that must be the name. Lickums. Well, this website's not for me. Oh no. Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Oh god.
Nipple. I type in the Lickums, and first result is Amazon.com. Nipple Lickums Wild Strawberry Health and Personal Care. Do I click on that?
Yeah, you're about to be married.
Okay.
Don't sweat it. You got nothing to fear now.
What is it called then? What is that candy called?
Yeah, no, it's Lickums.
Is it?
I don't know.
Dippin' Sticks? Is it Dippin' Sticks? Is that? Do you know what I'm talking about though?
Fun dip.
What?
Is it fun dip?
Could be. Let me look at the image. Fun dip.
So here's the thing: if you're googling Lickums and
Yeah.
you're talking about the candy, just put candy in your search string.
Yeah, this Amazon product is definitely not.
Yeah, look, I'm
the
gonna.
candy.
I'll fucking send you a link right now.
It's Fun Dip. I found it. Okay.
Yeah.
I found it after you told me what it was. I found it. Okay.
Lickamade.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Every picture of packages here looks like they're really dirty. like someone dug them out of the back of their closet.
Ugh.
So I had a couple flavors of bottle caps all at the same time, and it was terrible.
Yeah. You didn't you mix them? You mix them all, or you mix a couple?
I took like a handful.
Okay.
There were like 7 of them. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. No, bad every time.
We'll see.
You know what it tastes like? You know when you were like a teenager and you'd go to like a Burger King? So hold on, let me back up. You know how we as adults still eat at Burger King?
Yeah.
Do you still? I haven't done this in a while just because I'm so lazy. If you're inside and you're gonna like fill your own drink, remember when you were younger you'd mix flavors of soda?
I wouldn't, but that's because I'm a picky person. But yeah, I've seen that.
I used to put like some Sprite and some Coke together. You know?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
But you're a young idiot, you know? You're just
Yeah.
living in the moment. You don't know.
And you think it's fucking hilarious that you could do that, and you're just drinking it up, telling everyone, you gotta do this, you gotta do this.
Mixing
That kind of thing?
bottle cap flavors is worse than that.
Okay.
Terrible. You know what though?
Go on.
They're not bad. They're like not good,
They're okay.
but it's like
Yeah.
it's not just sweet. They have like a very little bit of the tartness to them. Like what are those things that teachers give out in a roll?
Grades. Smarties?
Yeah, they kind of have like a Smarties flavor to them,
Yeah. They're about the same tartness as the Smartie for sure.
but with flavors.
Yeah. And the Smarties would breaks down to a finer powder eventually. This has like that grit, but it also dissolves very quickly. Yeah.
I don't know what it is. No individual part of eating these is good,
Yeah.
but I don't hate it.
Yeah, you go back for it.
Yeah. I might just be addicted to sugar. I mean, that's a very real possibility.
Well, there are no artificial flavors in here, so it's probably great for you.
Oh, God.
May contain egg, produced with genetic engineering.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, no, it's like they break down into like that, like quicksand in your mouth.
Yeah.
It's like that sugary sloshing around slime.
Yeah.
If I let it froth out of my mouth, I bet ants would be all over it. It's not even good for defense, but like, they're not bad.
It turns into that grit, but it also then dissolves pretty quickly.
Oh, right. What was the other thing? Oh, yeah, we already talked about this in the podcast. Nestle agreeing to sell its U.S. confectionery business to Ferrero. $2.8 billion. That includes bottle caps, just as a...
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go to this official website for. Oh, that just brings us to that to that news article that you're talking about.
Probably, yeah. Should stop buying Nestle products, though. You know.
Yeah, it is a horrible company.
I think they like own public water sources and it's really wasteful with it, and
I don't know. They don't make the best chocolate candy. They do own a lot of the other candies, like fruit flavored candies, which can be good. But there's a candy on their list called Redskins.
Ooh.
Oof.
Yeah, let's check those out real quick.
Whoops. They are red raspberry flavored chewy confectionery manufactured in New Zealand by Nestle under their Allen's brand. Is that not offensive in Australia?
In 1996, a complaint was made to the New Zealand Advertising Standards Complaint Board about a Redskins candy advertisement aired on New Zealand television. The advertisement featured comedian Mark Wright, I don't know who that is, dressed in American Indian clothing and assuming an accent. A mock drum beat featured on the soundtrack. Despite protest from Nestle New Zealand that the advertisement was inoffensive, the board upheld the complaint. Yeah, so Nestle tried to say, hey, us parodying, us putting a guy in American Indian costume to advertise a candy called Redskins was not offensive. And New Zealand correctly went, you guys are fucking idiots. Oh, hey, cool. Redskin packaging formerly featured a photo of a Native American wearing a traditional headdress. This was replaced in the late 1990s by a more...
NSYNC was big. Britney Spears was taking off, and they're like, you know what? We gotta change this packaging.
We gotta get with the times and not have, hey, our popular slur candy?
Yeah.
We should change its image. Oh, let's change the name. No. I think maybe we should just change the guy that we use to advertise it.
Yeah. No one will remember.
There's not any kind of World Wide Web where this information is going to be preserved forever.
They basically look like they're packaged like those Tootsie Rolls basically, but the colored different fruit flavored Tootsie Roll things. I don't know. Raspberry's not my favorite, but it looks like that kind of texture.
They look fucking nasty.
Why don't they just eat the fruit flavored Tootsie Rolls and let Redskins die?
Nestle, I think, is run by like an actual villain.
It's possible. I mean,
like the kind of guy who roots for the Joker in Batman films.
He makes some good points. He's just an agent of chaos.
He's doing the right thing. I'm gonna go buy private water supplies.
Although, if we can get our hands on these Redskin candies, we're doing them. We're going to be talking about them.
I bet you can get them at Walmart.
So, you don't like these, but you like them, you think?
I mean, I'm going to eat the rest of the package. Not maybe all today, because it's kind of a lot of sugar, but...
Yeah, thoughtful portion is 13. So.
I'm probably already way past that.
Me too.
I'd say middle of the road. Low middle of the road, but middle of the road.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, it's a fruit-flavored candy. It's all right. Nothing great. They ruined orange, but...
Yeah, the famous root beer.
I'm sorry, this is a soda-flavored candy.
Thank
My
you.
bad. Soda
pop
candy.
Soda pop candy. Tagline says. Where are you gonna put it?
I put it low middle of the road as well.
Yeah.
Because it's inoffensive at best. I didn't go in and go like, wow, bottle caps. I haven't had those in a while. Let me eat those. I was like, oh, bottle caps. I haven't done that yet. And then I can see why I wasn't excited.
Well, that's a podcast.
That's it. If you can think of any movies to add to the Twins universe, go ahead and reach out via Instagram, Twitter, an email address. It's all Heads Up Pod. So at Heads Up Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and headsuppod@gmail.com.
If you want to do something useful, go ahead and protest Nestle every chance you get.
Yeah.
You should really campaign against them hardcore. They're criminals and thieves. Stealing the public water supply.
And they've sold off their candy business in the U.S. anyway, so you can still eat it, probably.
Well, they sold off their confection division.
I think, isn't that all candy?
No, they maintain the Toll House brand.
Oh,
So
okay.
chocolate stuff. Okay. I think they're still making I don't know. I don't have the news thing in front of me anymore, but I know they're not just done with sweets.
They don't make that many good candies. So there's usually a good alternative, unless you're looking at like Laffy Taffy or Sweet Tarts. Is it worth lining their pockets though? Probably, because we'll probably eat some of those candies in the future.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, your lust for sugar is helping prop up a villainous corporation. So this has been the Heads Up podcast with Jeff and Sean. I'm Sean.
I'm Jeff.
Did you give out the email already?
I think so.
headsuppod@gmail.com. Yeah, this is the Heads Up podcast with Jeff and Sean, and we're popping off.
Toodles.
It's just like quiet, smooth jazz constantly, and occasionally we just come on and we're just like, snakes have forked tongues.
Yeah.